Helping us do that, back to Chicago, live on the floor at the CME Group is Todd Horwitz. Todd, a lot of head scratching here in this livestock complex with the have a guest in studio today. We're talking about livestock with him, and with the cheaper grain, you would think maybe we get a bounce in the livestock. Wow, we are just moving lower, lower, lower. Your thoughts?
Well, I think we've seen both live and feeder cattle are both locked, double limit now. Now I don't know if they're still there. When I came on, they were limit down again. And that's the expanded limit after being down limit yesterday.
Yeah.
I believe that you look at this space, and we've talked about this extensively over the last couple of months. The prices were way too high, and you can see that starting to form in the formation from a chart. So as you look at it, you have backwardation where the prices were getting cheaper into time. Now you throw into the mix an economic situation that people aren't making enough money. You don't have an economy that can support higher prices, because the bottom line is people are lucky if they can buy food in general. We're seeing that in all of the spaces. Commodities are getting slaughtered. We're seeing low prices. Why? Because we don't have enough money. So the whole economic situation, plus the fact that higher prices, look what's even happened in the hog market here. It's starting to get hammered here. We're seeing prices that can't be sustained because you don't have a global economy to support it.
Very good. And lean hogs down. We'll get to that in a minute. I want to go back to feeder cattle. They are down limit, by the way, in those live cattle, as you mentioned. And the feeder cattle are down over $6. Boy, you don't see that very often, obviously.
Right?
It takes expanded limits to see a $5 or a $6 decline. But, again, part of the historic day, we're seeing that today in feeders.
Yeah, I think it was $6.75 was which limit. Look, feeders is a problem. Feeders are kind of like soybeans. They made a new contract low. This is a concern. It was easily telegraphed over time that they were a higher price. But again, I think what you're getting here, Mark, now is a little bit throw the baby out with the bathwater. You're getting some panic in here. You can't buy them yet because you got to wait till we stop going down limit. Now, at some point, there's going to be a nice dead cat bounce here, and then we'll get a better read where we're going. But I still think we have lower to go.
Hey, I have a question. What's if you have expanded limits now, and we do hit that 675? What happens tomorrow? What do the rules show?
They expand them again. I forget how much, but they continue to expand them because they want them off a limit to allow people to allow the markets to trade and create free trade versus locking them out.
Very good. And I want to mention, you mentioned hogs briefly there. We have been down 7 of the last 8 sessions going into the day. Looks like it's going to be 8 out of 9 for those contracts as well.
It's very surprising. As we looked at 60 and thought that might be a level to take a look at. We said, let's wait, see what happens with 57. And again, at some point we're going to get a bounce. I know I keep saying that here, but at some point they're going to dead cat bounce. But it's getting a little bit scary. But now the opposite here, Mark. Hogs now are getting so cheap that at some point cheap prices will cure cheap prices, and now you have to really take a serious look into buying at these levels. Now, I don't say it's right here, but somewhere here we're going to find a level that's going to be sustainable from the downside and look for a rally back up. So I'm getting much more bullish down here because now we're getting to prices that are, when they were 130 2 years ago or 3 years ago, that was ridiculous price the high side. Now they're getting ridiculously priced at the downside. I'm looking for a spot to buy down here somewhere.
Very good. Todd, thanks as always. What an important day, and we're glad you're here to kind of sort things out for us. Hopefully helpful information, buyers or sellers. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Todd Horwitz live from the floor at the CME Group in Chicago. And